That's right, I'm selling my kayak. I bought this in 2022, just last year. I used it all last season, maybe 15, 20 times. This year I haven't used it at all. My wife and I had a baby this year, and so it's time to upgrade to a boat. So I'm selling this thing. Let's do a walk around of it, show you exactly what's in it. If you're interested in purchasing it, hit the link down below. You can go to the listing where I'm selling it. I am located in the Twin Cities, Minnesota area. If you're looking to pick it up and get a great deal on how I got it decked out right now. Let's jump in. As you can see, this is the Old Town Sportsman AutoPilot 136 with the motor on it. I've got it on an easy loader trailer. Can come with the trailer if you already have your own trailer and or you don't want to spend the money on this trailer. I can separate them as well, but it is a jet ski trailer that I've modified to make it work with the kayak. I've put the uprights on it. This trailer is perfect for this thing. Let's start at the front and let's walk through exactly how it's set up. This is a carver cover, the heaviest duty covers that you can get for this thing. It's great for if you're gonna have it outside sitting overnight someplace while you're doing maybe a kayak camping trip. It's trailerable. This is usually actually always how I've ever trailered it down the road to lakes and rivers and that type of thing, is I put this on and I have a couple straps that go over it, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. It works great on highway speeds, no issues at all, the way that I got it set up on there. The trailer itself actually has a spare tire built into it. You've got your front wheel on it that you can obviously move it around, and then you've got the front winch post area here that winches to the front of the kayak. It's an upgraded handle in the front here. This is a heavier duty handle. I don't remember the exact brand on it. The handle that they have on here from the OEM is not as heavy duty, and it has a tendency to bend. I like to put the winch strap around the handle, and so I wanted a heavier duty one to make sure that nothing was gonna break. So this is an upgraded handle, which is great. Holding it, pulling it into the water, out of the water, you can do all of that. Otherwise, hook the winch strap right up to it and pull it out. I got a little rope on here so that the winch hooks up directly to the rope, and then this pulls it right out of the water. The other thing that you're gonna see here are lights. These are, I believe these are Yak Attack or Yak Power lights. You've got a red light here and a green light here, which are needed if you're gonna be out in the water after dark. And then we've got the front hatch here. Nothing crazy inside of the front hatch. It is clean and it is dry. You've got a couple power wires there that go to those front lights. The way that I use is I actually had my live scope cables in here run through the hull. I had the black boxes in here, and I also had 48 amp hour NMC batteries from Amped Outdoors in here, and they fit in here absolutely wonderfully. And so what you've got here is inside, there are some lights. So if we go from the hatch over here, you can see this is a master power switch if you have batteries in there, and that is for your graphs. That's what I use them for because I had a couple graphs on here. And then this is a charging port. So if you put batteries inside of this hatch, you don't need to take them out to charge them. You can just throw the wiring directly onto this guy right here, which the wires are already in there. And then you just use an SAE plug to go ahead, plug in, and you can charge with your cable right when you get home, which is really, really nice. And like I said, your master power switch there. Going back a little bit here on this side, USB charger here. So this is a QC 3.0, and then you've got a QC 3.0 down here. These are both USB-A, and if you click it, you can see the voltage. These are hooked up to two other batteries that I have in the back for electronics, and you can turn that off. So the way that I use this is, you can see right above it, I added a aluminum track, heavy duty tracks, way better than the OEM ones. This track, I had a mount here for a GoPro, and so I could just run a USB cable up. You can use it for that or charging phones, devices, whatever you want to do. Coming across here is a crossbar. So this is a very heavy duty aluminum bar. It is not going anywhere. So you can see a matching track on this side of it. These are actually bike mount brackets that I made work here. Absolutely phenomenal, super heavy duty. So they go into the track, they bolt down in there. This is a solid, I think it's a 1-inch aluminum bar that goes across. And so you can see here, the way that I had it was two graphs on there. I'll link a couple other videos here down below if you want to check them out. that did a walkthrough of when I had this thing fully decked out last year, in case you want to see how I had it all set up. But I decided to leave this in. It's really easy to undo. You can just take these screws off on either side. These aren't holes in the boat, they're just in the tracks. You take that whole bar off if you don't want that bar there either. I added the Minn Kota heading sensor. The reason why you want this is, if you're familiar with this boat, which you probably are if you're looking at getting it, is it has the trolling motor. On the trolling motor, you have a lot of different features and functions. You have a spot lock feature and function, which I'll grab from the remote here and show you, right? So you've got the remote that comes with it, obviously. You've got your spot lock function, and then you can actually do where you can go left, right, or forward or back, and you can jog 5 feet, 10 feet. You can get straighter lines, you can go in a certain heading, but you need the heading sensor to do that. This is an aftermarket add-on, does not come with the kayak normally. I added that on, have it all wired up, and it is good to go. It's already paired up with the system. Nothing you're gonna need to do, that's already set up. Then of course the trolling motor itself in mint condition. This is the original prop that's on here. So you can see no issues there. And then this is the prop wrench, which is also the safety key. So you use this to take the prop nut off if you need to. I've got groove launch pads here. These work great for putting your jigs or fishing lures in if you're swapping them out quite a bit. I've got one on either side. And then I replaced the OEM plastic tracks with these longer, heavy duty, I think these are from Yak Attack as well. Heavy duty aluminum rails. Absolutely awesome. There's no bend in them. Put rod holders here, camera mounts, you name it, you can put it there, which is absolutely great. These are one-way scuppers. I've got them in all of the different holes. These are fantastic for keeping the water out. So if you get water that splashes inside of the kayak here, the water will go out through them, but water can't come up into your kayak from them. So if you have a little bit of a heavier load in here, or you're getting a lot of splashing, you don't need to worry about water coming up. So all of these scupper holes have scupper plugs in them that are one-way scuppers. Those are also in addition that I added in, and you can see they're back here. And then I have one under the battery compartment as well. And then moving further back, right by the chair here, I do have another one of the USB charging ports here, so that you can charge your phone, was the idea here. It's located right next to the spot. So usually what I would do is throw a USB cable on there, and then I would just set my phone in here, and I would usually put like a harness or something on my phone to one of these tie down points or something on the track that you have there. The handles on the boat, I have upgraded as well. So these are heavy duty handles. Again, the OEM ones are a little bit flimsy. I added in 2 new ones that are there. I have in-hull transducer wire holes. So these are all plugged up right now because I took my 2 live scope transducers, the GT56 from Garmin, and both my screens off of here. But there are ports here that you can unscrew. This one you unscrew from the back. So you would throw your hand down this hole, you would reach back in there, and then you can take the nut off of the back of these. They have a rubber plug. I just put these screws in here. You can pull them out if you want to, but there's 2 holes here for wires to come through, and then this one's got a plug that's pushed in from the back. And these rubber things come out as well, and the rubber things here come out as well. And I gave you some extra parts inside of this container that came with the kayak that obviously I'm gonna give you as well, is the extra plugs and adapters for different size and types of wires that you'd maybe have go through there. There's a manual here for the Minn Kota, owner's manual for the kayak with the serial number and that on it. And then I've got, this is the Burley Pro for the AutoPilot 136 bumper bro. So what this is for, I did not install it, but if you want to, it's to protect the front of the kayak in case you're dragging it a lot. You can see there's just a tiny little bit of wear. This is a very thick kayak, so no wear at all. I never really drug it. This is just from like hitting parts on the trailer or just a little bit of a sandbar, but this thing is in like nearly mint condition. I've seen kayaks at stores that have been drug around way more than this, even brand new. And then you can see here, this is where you would mount on your transducer underneath. This is the OEM mounting bracket. I used a different one that I took off. So you have brand new OEM, never used mounting bracket for your transducer. And then that wire can go ahead and come up through here, and then it goes behind the trolling motor, and you can get it out there directly into your screen if you want. Of course, I made sure that you have an extra prop. I don't know if you're gonna need it. I've never needed it, but I bought one directly from Minn Kota, so that way you've got another prop nut and an extra prop. That's all gonna be included for you, of course. Yes, that is right. You see this guy right here. This is a power pole controller. So you've got control here for it, and then back here is the actual power pole. So this is the micro anchor power pole from Power Pole. Total control technology. So it mounts directly to the bracket that's on the kayak. They make an extra plate that you can buy to make it extra sturdy. I added that on there and to get the angle down so it doesn't interfere with your rudder. So that's on there, all factory from Power Pole attachments here. So you know that you've got high quality parts. That's on there. You've got the head unit here. You can control it from here, or the remote that I showed you up front. And then this is the power pole itself. It looks really long on the video here, but I think it's 8 feet long. They make 2 of them. I think they make a 6-foot one and an 8-foot one. This is the 8-foot pole. And so this is intended to be used when you're shallow water fishing. You don't want to put spot lock on. You want to stay in a spot, whether you're in a river, a lake, in the weeds, whatever. This goes right down. So that's absolutely phenomenal. That thing, I think, runs between $1,000 and $2,000. I don't remember off the top of my head, just for that. And I've got it all installed. The wiring goes inside of the kayak again, fully waterproof through the hull, so you don't have wires everywhere. That's the nice thing about how I hook this guy up, is you don't have wires all over the place. It's all inside of the kayak, super dry and safe and secure. On the keychain here itself, of course, we've got the remote. I've got the battery out of the kayak right now, so it's not obviously connecting to the motor, but this guy here is great to control your trolling motor. And then if you want to, you can use this as well around your neck, which is what I do, up and down for your power pole. And you can double click it to go all the way down, double click it to go all the way up, hold down up once you're up to pull it out. That way you can get in and out of your garage or anything like that. OEM seat, I always had a cover on it, so it's not sun damaged or anything like that. Freaking awesome seats that they put in these guys. And then you've got yak power. So this is, again, wired through the hull, so you don't have to deal with any wires anywhere, but you've got your power switch here you can turn on, and then you've got, I've got lights. So I've got the bow lights, I've got the midsection lights, and I've got the back lights, I guess you could say. And then this is the button for turning on and off the micro power pole. 2 is for an outlet that I have in the back that I'll show you. And then 3 is currently unused. Nav is the navigation lights. So if I turn all of those on, what you're gonna see is right in front of your chair is you actually have 2 super bright lights that shine down at your feet. This is great for really early mornings or late at night when it's dark out. You can use and see everything in here. If you're changing jigs, you got something sitting down by your feet, you're putting bait on, and it's nice because it doesn't shine in your eyes, it's shining away from you. And again, if I were to simply click this button, I can turn them on and off. The other lights that were on it, I showed you up front first. So these are your navigation lights. You've got a green one and you've got a red one. You've also got back here behind the chair, pointing backwards, just like up front, I've got 2 white lights here as well. These are very, very bright lights, all yak power lights here. So it's their full lighting system. So I spent a little bit of extra money to get the nice stuff that's kind of pre-done for you. I'll show you inside of the battery compartment under the chair here in a second, how it's all wired up. And then the other one that I said was hooked up to an outlet in the back. This is the outlet in the back. So this is your storage area. You could put, I had Yak Attack black boxes back here. You put whatever you want back here, or nothing, whatever you want. So here is an SAE plug. This is powered by that 3rd button. What I had here was an SAE into a pole mount here where I could actually have a back nav light. So that is something I will be selling if you want it. I'll have it listed separately. But of course, all the accessories that I had with this, most of them I'm gonna be selling as well. So if you wanna pick up any of that stuff, make sure you check out those listings as well, or reach out to me and I can let you know if the stuff is still available. As we move to the chair, couple things that I've done here. One, I like to be able to sit on it. You know, my chest isn't into my knees, so I like being higher up. And so I have it in the upper position on the chair. And what that does is it actually causes you to lean back, which I don't like. And so I got these aftermarket accessories that actually lift up the back of the chair. So it's strapped down so it's super sturdy. But as you can see here, the chair on the back sits up more because you have those blocks. And so it's more level. You can just easily unscrew them and take it off if you want to. This unlatches here and you can flip it forward. And that's how you get access to underneath the seat. So underneath the seat, a couple things that we've got here. I added a track mount. These are short track mounts on either side. These are great for rod holders. Again, the heavy duty ones, or whatever you want, or you don't need to use them at all. You can use them for cup holders, attachment points, for whatever you want. So we've got the waterproof box. This is standard, comes with it. As you can tell, I've got nothing in there, but you can put things underneath here. You can put things in there. It's a great little thing. This is my master power button. So I've got extra batteries inside of here. So underneath this battery cover, if you open it up, you can pull this off. If I can get it off. Okay. And then inside of here is where my other batteries are. So you can see Energized Outdoors is actually the name of Amped Outdoors before they changed their name. So this is a Life P04 battery that I have in here with heavy duty outdoor Velcro. So that's what you're gonna see there. And then on the other side, I've got another one. So I've got these wired up in parallel. So that's what's powering all of the electronics in the boat, except for up front. If you want to use different batteries, you can for your fish finders. Otherwise, you can just run a wire back here and tap into whatever you got back here as well. These are all separate than the trolling motor. So I had 3 different power systems. One for my graphs and my live scope. One for all the other electronics on here, USB cables, the lights on the kayak, the power pole, everything else is running off of these batteries back here. And this is where you see the head unit for the yak power. So you can see you can control everything, override in here if something happens to your controller, but I've never had any issues with it. You've got the wires and the connectors here, so you can see everything is labeled and it goes directly into a really easy to use SAE port. And so this stuff is very easy to buy extra accessories for, swap out. This is how I've got everything powered in here. The batteries will not be included. I'm gonna take them out. Of course, we can work out a deal if you want them included. We can figure out a way to get you one or both batteries or whatever you're interested in at that point included. And then you've got your big battery. So this is the battery that you use for the trolling motor. The primary reason why you would buy this kayak is because you like the idea of the trolling motor. You can actually pull this out and you can see there's another one-way scupper holder, one-way scupper hole down there, so it drains out but doesn't actually fill up if you get too much weight. And then you've got the battery tray here, which is just the battery tray that comes with it. It doesn't come with a battery. I do have batteries if you need them. They're higher end batteries, so to keep the price point down, I'm not including them, but if you want me to throw one in, we can work out a deal on that as well. So that's that guy. This cable comes out. You can see you connect your battery here, positive and negative, right inside of the box. And you would plug it into this port right here. And then up front, you've got where the wire comes out and it plugs in directly to the trolling motor. Just behind here, another charging port. So the way that I've got this wired up is that way these batteries that we have in here, those 12-volt batteries, you don't need to open this up to take batteries out to charge at the end of the day. All you would do is throw an SAE plug on here, which you can see here. Pull it off, SAE. I've got 12-volt positive, negative listed here because some of the adapters are different. So you can see how I've got it wired up there. So at the end of the day, you plug in a cord there, you plug in a cord up here, and you charge up this guy with a cord and you're good to go. You don't need to take any batteries out. Really easy to charge up. And then you can see here, I added additional, I think these are 8-inch tracks, 10-inch tracks, I don't remember. Heavy duty tracks here and here, replace the OEM ones back here with heavy duty tracks. So there are a ton of tracks on this boat. You've got space for accessories everywhere, and it's the heaviest duty tracks that you can buy for a kayak. These are heavy duty aluminum tracks that are super lightweight. And then as we get to the back here, it is that power pole, micro power pole that we had talked about. You've got your rudder back here. And then I'm throwing this flag in because, well, it's 13.5 feet long. You may as well have a flag on it, so I'll include that as well. Here it is with the cover on it. I usually throw a couple bungees under here, so I'll do that as soon as we get done, but works absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, trailering it with this cover. It's an incredibly heavy-duty cover. You can see the winch strap is right there to that front handle, as we talked about before, but absolutely a phenomenal way to keep it covered. And if your garage isn't big enough, you don't have space inside, this is a great way to store it outside, covered and protected as well. So if you're interested again in getting this kayak, getting the kayak with the trailer, any of the other accessories that I talked about here or in any of my other videos, feel free to reach out to me. I'll have my social media links down below. I'll also have links to the listings down below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take it easy.